Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives. You know, we have been through a lot in our lives. Each one of us has gone through something traumatic. Every one of us has experienced extreme pain in our lives. Every single one of us has experienced what is known as betrayal in our lives. And for me, as I go into this live stream, I think that so much of what has driven progressives to become a movement, to actually become one entity and to push forward, is a unifying message that we are tired of being betrayed. I think betrayal is the single one uniting factor that we all feel inside of us. We all feel that sense of betrayal going back as far as any of us can remember. I know for myself, something has always been wrong. Something has always been going on. No matter how much I tried to watch football and hockey and baseball, no matter how many concerts I went to, no matter how many kids events I went to, no matter how many fun parties I went to, no matter how many times I got drunk, no matter how many times I got high, there was always something that was nagging there. There was always something nagging there. There was always some fear that some of us turn into anger, other of us turn into tears, but all of us have felt this thing called betrayal. You know, where you tell something that is of deep import to yourself, to another individual, or where you have a moment of down, where you're feeling down and out, and you say something to someone you trust that you wouldn't otherwise say to another living soul as long as you live, right? That kind of thing. And then all of a sudden it gets back to you. It gets back to you. You know, you have that one talk, you're both sitting there having a beer, you're smoking a joint, you're drinking a cup of coffee, and you're sharing your life story with somebody that you thought you could trust. And then you hear it differently through the teleworks, through the gossip ring, right? Gossip and all that stuff pales in comparison to the level of betrayal we feel from our own government. From our own government, as we sit there and watch our government do anything but serve our needs, to do anything but help us, as we watch our children who are sick with some disease die, as we lay there by their sides and they die unnecessarily because we don't have medical care in this country. Think of those parents. When you've ever been to the emergency room, or you've ever been in a hospital, and you go around the floor and you see the other patients in the other rooms, and you hear people crying, and you go door by door by door as you're walking down the hallway, or you're in the maternity ward and you hear some grieving mother who just lost her child. And you sit there and you watch people who have been in automobile accidents from drunk driving or any number of awful things. You watch somebody who lost somebody in a shooting. You watch somebody who gets arrested and dies resisting. You watch any number of things, and all you do is you sit there and you feel this sense of loss, and eventually the callous forms, but there's a betrayal there. There is a betrayal. And that betrayal, once you understand the things I think of, it all stems from a purposeful keeping us trapped in a hole that we can't get out of. And we can never quite put a finger on it, right? We always know there's something wrong. We always know there's something fucking wrong, but we can't quite put our finger on it. And so people go off this way, they go off that way. They gotta find an answer to why shit just isn't right. Shit's not right, and people want to know what they can do. You friggin' go to vote and you feel like your vote doesn't matter anymore. You put your donation in for the candidate and you feel like it doesn't do anything anymore. You find out that they're fucking rigging elections. Everything about our lives is fucking built on lies. And it's all about how you can deal with the lies you're told. How many lies are you able to swallow? How much bullshit can you live with in a given fucking day? Okay? How many distractions and lies and deceits and fucking misdirections and all the bullshit can you live with? And that feeling, you get razor thin in the amount of bullshit you can handle anymore. It's razor thin. It's like a fucking piece of dental floss, that layer of thinness, with the amount of bandwidth you have to give to the next betrayal. Over and over again. So what do? How do we get through this? Progressives as a unit, I believe, even if they're wrong, and there are many of you out there have decided to go down the wrong path or maybe a different path, whatever. You go down paths because you're just in search of the answer. God damn it, you know things aren't right. You know they're not right. And so for me, as I walk through this, I can't speak for you. I can only speak for me. I have 9 children. I've been divorced twice. Both of my divorces were outrageously painful. I mean, insanely painful. I'm not going to go into the details. It's irrelevant. But let me just say this, that there's betrayals and then there's betrayals and then there's more betrayals. And betrayal, when it comes down to your personal life, is something you can manage. You can block somebody on Facebook. You can get a divorce. You can move away. You can do a number of things. But when your entire existence is built on a lie, it's built on a foundation of bullshit. When you start peeling back the layers of the onion to realize that our history is manufactured garbage. When you go through all this stuff and you just go, my God, what is truth? What is real? I can't fucking deal with this. It's like, oh my God, it's just too much bullshit. How do you deal with the bullshit? So, Jacques Fresco, guy who was coming up with the idea of a resource-based economy, the Venus Project, passed away. God love you, Jacques. There's a man, even though I don't agree with everything he was trying to do, I agree with so much of where his heart was. I agree with so much of where his heart was. And here was a guy who was saying, I don't hear all that other noise out there. I'm just trying to find a way to make humanity better. I'm just trying to find a way to make humanity better. Make the world a better place. And then I look and I see the way our government responds to it. There's nothing in there. Do you guys realize, I mean, think about this for a second. The fight for 15. Do you realize this is a pitched battle? Do you realize that our government could fix this like that? I'm not even joking. It could fix it like that. But they don't, because they keep us fucking begging for crumbs. They keep us begging for crumbs. Why? Because the wealthy. That's how they measure themselves. Once you get so much money, it doesn't really matter anymore. They just go ahead and measure themselves by the gap between them and you. And when you're looking at these poor folk, they're measuring themselves between that minuscule gap in each other. And that's how they measure their worth, their value to society, their value in life. That's why you've got so many people offing themselves. Fucking suicides are through the roof. Through the fucking roof. Because they can't deal with the bullshit. They can't deal with the destitution and the hopelessness. And so you've got these people, to me, the truth sucks ass. But give me cold, hard truth and stop giving me lies. Stop, even in our own movement. See, this is where the establishment does its part, but then our own movement does it to us as well with these fucking half-baked conspiracies. The rush to judgment, the rush to this, that, and the other. And it makes you crazy too because you don't know what the fuck to do with it. It's not actionable. You can't do anything with it. So you're left to stew. You're left to obsess and you're left to feel sick inside. This is where I'm at right now. Hey, Rob. As I tune out and I ignore and I say, fuck the haters. Because I got a shit ton of haters. You know that, right? I don't know if you realize this or not, but I got a shit ton of haters. And you know what? The bottom line is that I don't apologize for an awful lot of anything. I come up, I wake up in the morning, I go to bed at night trying to do this shit. I'm no nonsense. I've got a fucking straightforward approach, and that's that. And if it fucking makes people upset sometimes, it's just a cost of doing it, man. I don't have time to deal with it because I'm so tired of nonsense. I'm tired of people taking something I say personally when it's not about them. I'm tired of fucking people taking shit I say in these live streams. Oh, Steve's talking about me. You're just not that important. This is not about you. This is about a big picture, folks. Talking about you isn't changing the world. Talking about you is feeding your ego. Whoever you is, it's not about you. It's about this big picture. This big fucking picture. And this big fucking picture, let me tell you something about this big fucking picture. This big fucking picture, if you don't cut the noise out, it's too much. It's too fucking much. There's no way to condense this down into a manageable way of looking at it. It's just too much, and that's on purpose. It keeps us running 100 directions so we can't accomplish anything. Betrayal, my friends, betrayal. Betrayal on a personal level keeps us distracted. Betrayal at a national and an international level keeps us very fucking distracted. Very distracted. And I think one of the things that is vital for this, I have been in search of truth long before I thought this movement existed. Okay? I have been digging around. Remember, folks, for those of you who don't know who I am and don't know much about me, let me give you the 2-second storyline. I used to be a Republican. I used to be an LOL libertarian. I was a Democrat, and now I'm just a goddamn truth seeker. Okay, I don't even know what you call me. I am a true, real, honest-to-God fucking progressive. And I'm trying to get shit done. And if I don't see people fighting for real, these fucking incremental changes, fight for 15, fight for what, so I can drown? $15 an hour doesn't save my life. $15 an hour doesn't feed my kids. It doesn't house me. It doesn't clothe me. It's a fucking fight for, hey, we fought the power, fight for 15. No. Fight for fucking a living wage. Fight for living benefits. That's not bullshit. That's not betrayal. But this whole idea of getting you guys spun around the axle for these little fucking small things like fight for 15, that's more incrementalism. That is more bullshit. What good does it do me if I've got